Jill here, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to do a little Q&A. I haven't done this in quite a while regarding wigs and toppers. And I did a Wig Wednesday Q&A a while back, if you recall, and just covered one question. And so I thought that's what we would do again. And this is both with wigs and toppers. If you have any questions, because the reason why I stopped that is because really I kept getting repeat questions. And, you know, I covered all of those in those Q&As. So I just stopped doing it because I wasn't getting any fresh new questions, and it seemed to pretty much cover the major, the ones that I would get all the time. So if you have any questions at all regarding wigs and toppers, then please post down below and I will continue to try my best to answer them. In no way am I close to being somebody who is some sort of guru when it comes to helper hair at all. Now, the question that I get a lot, and it's you know, toppers or wigs, is can you recommend a topper for me? I have this situation, I prefer something this way and whatever. I never ever can do that because it's really your journey. And you have to be able to get out there, and you're going to make some wrong choices, but you're going to make some right choices too. And both of those things are going to help you figure out what it is that you can live with and what it is you can't live with. So, you know, regarding toppers, for instance, you know, it depends on specifically how much coverage that you need and how much coverage that you want and how much coverage that you can actually deal with, because, you know, all of those things add up to how it's going to feel on your head, how much hair is going to be there, and the comfort, you know. And so as for styling, again, I really think that sometimes we think we know what we want, and then before we know it, we get it and we're looking at it and we're going, that's not what I thought it was going to be. So I never ever can give anybody any concrete answer to that. I've never been able to say, well, I recommend this one. I just can't do that. I think it is a really scary place to put me because this is your money, it's your investment, and I don't know you. I can't possibly, even if you send me this, you know, 3 or 4 paragraphs about yourself, I could not possibly take on that responsibility and choose one for you. So as much as I would love to be able to play that kind of, you know, helper hair fairy and do my, you know, fairy wand and fairy dust and absolutely magically be able out the door to pick out that perfect first topper or wig for you, I would love to do that, but I definitely could not. You know, it's really the journey with helper hair is just that. I cannot stress it enough. Very seldom are you going to come out of the gate and choose the perfect one straight away. It's all trial and error. It is expensive. And that's scary, and it really is an investment. So it is scary when you don't hit it right, you know, and then you can return it, but there's always money lost when you do that. You can sell it, but you know, there's probably gonna be money lost selling it as well. It is unfortunately a hit and miss thing. So that would be my answer then, unfortunately, which is more of a political beat around the bush one. I unfortunately cannot do that for you. I wish I could, but I definitely can't. What I can do is I can, specifically with toppers, if you are looking to purchase your first topper and you want some guidance as to what you should be looking for, I can help you there. And I can tell you that it does depend on your budget. You know, I would definitely try to get the best that you possibly can with what you have to work with. Toppers especially, I think it's essential that you get one with the best base that you possibly can regarding giving you a really realistic scalp look, because it's a topper and you want that top piece to be able to blend and fool people and to make you feel confident. So that, you know, mono top is essential. Whether you want a silk top base or a mono top, you want to have a realistic kind of scalp look with your topper. So, you know, I would say, you know, try to get topper that gives you that. I would look for that first. Of course, the color is going to be important. I wouldn't get hung up with toppers so much on the length because you can trim them. Definitely don't get too hung up on that because it's hard to find toppers that are shorter. They're there. This is top billing. Top billing. I know this doesn't match my bio hair, guys. I just recorded a lip swatch video and I did a lot of cool colors, and this is the coolest color that I have, so I stuck it on my head. I realize this does not blend very well, but you know what? If Moira from Schitt's Creek can do it, so can I. So, you know, I'm totally okay with it. I'm not incredibly picky about that. And it drives some of you guys nuts. It's like, your hair's not blending. It's like, I know. But anyway, some people are very, like, they will get their hair matched perfectly to their topper and you will not tell that's their topper at all. I fantasize about doing that. I would love to go to a beauty salon, go in there and say, can you match my hair totally and completely with this? But I like to change things up too much. So I don't know, I just work with it. But that's what you're supposed to do with toppers. You're supposed to blend them seamlessly into your own hair and get your hair colored and, you know, get it all to blend really nicely, which is awesome. I have not done that. So anyway, what I'm saying is that, you know, try to get of course, the best that you can for your money. Don't get hung up on the length. This is, I want to say, what is the length of this? 14 inches? 14 in the front? I'm not sure. I will put the specs to the top billing down below in the comment box, and I'll also link my topper chat on this one as well. There's pros and cons to this one, like most. And so I'll go ahead and link that if that's something you'd be interested in, make it easy for you to find down there. But there are 12-inch toppers, you know, the XL, the easy parts come they come all over the place now. You can get them 7-inch. I'm probably just spouting off all the wrong inches here. They come very short to the 12-inch, to the 18-inch. So there's a variety of different lengths in the Jon Renau line within that easy part line. So they're out there for sure. But when I find human hair toppers, I find most of them come longer. And so trimming them is essential for me. And don't shy away from certain pieces that you love everything about except for the length, because you can get them trimmed or you can trim them yourself. So yeah, with toppers, you don't want to get too hung up on that. So those would be that's the main thing, you know, that you want to look at, is that scalp appearance. You want it to look very realistic. And also, but you guys, you've got to figure out the coverage that you need. So you want to measure where you're thinning and go an inch beyond that, so you have nice, really healthy hair to clip to. So that's important. What sort of base coverage do you want in the base of your topper? Do you want it to be more of a 3/4 wig almost, where it comes like pretty far down, all the way down? Do you just need really a little in the crown and maybe more like at the easy part, maybe even the easy part XL, so you get a little bit more coverage? There's so many options, you guys, so many options when it comes to the coverage. So you got to figure that out. And if you are like me and you don't necessarily have, say, alopecia areata, or you don't have a ton of shedding and balding to where you have a large area that you need to cover with your topper, but you're looking to add more hair because you're thinning a lot and you can't do anything with it. So then you can kind of experiment with what feels good on your head. Do you like the feel of a bigger base? Or do you like the least amount as possible, which is kind of me. I find I'm torn. I love the full coverage that the larger base toppers give me, especially in the back, because it really is, it covers everything. And because I don't bother matching my own hair, it's kind of great that way. But they're a little bit warmer, they're a little heavier. You know, the density is usually more because there's just more wefts in there. It's got a bigger base. So with that more hair comes those things. It's heavier. you know, and not quite as comfortable. There's more, it's just, you know, I'd like to get away with the least amount as I possibly could, because then I have more of my own scalp exposed and it just feels more comfortable and cooler, and it just, I don't even hardly feel it's there half the time. So, you know, it's really a matter of doing your research, watching some videos. It's harder to find the ones on toppers than wigs, for sure. But they're out there, and I think there's more now than there was even when I was looking into toppers. So they're out there, but pay attention to the measurements they give you of the base, and actually measure it out on your own scalp, on your head, so you can visually see the size of that base and if it's going to be what you need. That's really important. So yeah. That would be the only thing that I would suggest when it comes to the toppers. As for the wigs, same thing. I couldn't possibly tell you which wig you should start with. You know, you need to do your research, find out what parts can you live with and what you cannot, and you're not going to know that unless you start ordering and experiencing some of those features. I would say definitely get as much as your budget will allow. I would start with a wig. If you can, I would start with a really good quality lace front wig. I would try for at least a mono part and a lace front and extended tabs, extended nape, and that would be great. And then if your budget's even higher, I would go with a hand tied and see how that feels. They're so natural feeling, and they flow like real hair. They're lovely. They're an amazing option. But they can be a little warm, those 100% hand-tied wigs. They definitely can be more warm than the wefted ones. So you got to figure out what your priorities will be there. There's so much to learn. There really is so much to learn, but you're going to not know anything when you come out of the gate. And the fact that you're watching videos like this means that you're doing some homework, and that's important and good for you, because that's how you learn. But then if you found that it's been months and months and months and you're still watching videos and you're still doing your research and you know this and that and the other thing, but you have yet to jump in and make your first purchase, you need to do that, because that's when the real learning will begin. You're not going to know what any of it feels like or looks like or anything until you make that first purchase, and then you can be like, okay, I know the next time I think I'm going to try this, or I think I could live without that, and I think I'll save a little money and I'll try a non-lace front wig and see if I can, you know, get on board with that. So it really is just, it is a journey, and it is expensive, but there are budget-friendly versions of all of these. Then you can see where within your budget, you know, you can live with this helper hair. So I hope that you find this helpful. All right, so until next time, I'll see you real soon. Stay young at heart. Bye-bye.